So this is ChatGPT right here, AI, and this is how it turned out in real life. Pretty good.
I've got the holes
Here
dug.
I go.
They're nice square holes. Now I'm gonna work on putting the posts in and bracing them plumb.
Here I go. First step, putting the posts in, bracing them up plumb temporarily with these little braces here. The design was made by the client actually. Like he used ChatGPT. I've never actually used it before, so I was surprised that it could do something like this. He gave it a picture of the area, told it what he wanted it to do, and apparently it took a bit of negotiating before he got it exactly how he liked it. It's pretty cool though. I'm a little late on the AI stuff, but it's definitely something I'm going to learn to use in the future. Very handy. So I went ahead and chose cedar here as my main building material. I really like working with cedar. It has a nice scent to it. It doesn't have any chemicals in it like treated wood, but it has the same properties as treated wood. It's naturally anti-rot and anti-decay, so it's great for exterior use, like for stuff like this and deck. It's pretty pricey, but you know, if you can convince the client to spend that extra dollar, I feel like in the end he would be very happy, because this guy here, he was very happy after he saw it. Another thing about cedar is it's very soft, so you got to be careful when you're whacking it with your hammer or when you're moving it around, because it can chip off very easily and it can dent super easily because it's very soft. It's a soft wood, it's not a hard wood, right? So here I'm notching out the top of the post for the top rail, and it's a bit of extra work, but it adds a lot of professionalism to the. It would be a lot easier to just slap the top rail against the post, but this really makes it look a lot better. Finishing off the notch with the handsaw, you can see the posts are doing the shimmy shake here, but they get a lot sturdier as I continue to add more pieces, and I had already poured the concrete out. As that gets dry, it definitely helps hold it stronger. You can see the top rail piece fits nicely in the notch, and that's exactly what I was looking for here. It looks a lot better that way. Now I'm just going to repeat the same steps on the other side for the other posts. Put this little 2x4 there to help hold the intermediate posts, and I used 3-inch deck screws to do everything on this job, and I didn't need to use that much. I did this job in one day. It took me about 6 hours to do, and I built it by myself, so it's definitely a good DIY job for one person to do at your house if you want something like this in your garden. It might take you a couple days to do it though. I was able to do it one day because, you know, I'm like that though, but you know, if you're just jumping into it, it's probably gonna take a couple days. Here goes a second rail here. After that, I'm gonna slap on the beam with a nice little design here at the end, and that's gonna tie the two sides together, help make it a bit sturdier. Here I'm gonna show you how I did the design here. I got 1.25" exposure and a 55-degree angle here, cutting it here with the skilly saw. Don't mind the Makita saw. I'm usually a DeWalt guy, but you know, my cordless DeWalt saw, I've had it for like 5 years. It died, so I'm gonna go ahead and get a new one. I'm usually a DeWalt guy. Look at the shirt, dude. But I did a little half lap joint here for the intermediate beams, just so that it would sit better and just look nice. Looks very nice. Very nice. Look at the homeowner there looking. He's like, wow, this looks awesome, dude. I'm happy I hired this guy. After that, we're putting on the top pieces here. These are just 2x2s. I had 2x4s. I ripped them in half with the little pinch and go with the skill saw. Fastening that in with like even spacing here. Even spacing. And I did a little notch at the bottom of the post for the bottom piece, just because I'm like that. No, I wasn't just gonna slap it on the post. You know, I gotta make it all look sexy and perfect, man. That's just how I am. Like, who else would have done this, bro? A few guys would have done this, but most guys would have done this, bro. Look at that. Little notch out in the post. Slap the 1x2 in. And that was the last piece of the puzzle. It's looking real nice. It's looking real nice. From ChatGPT AI to real life. Pretty much exactly how it looked. And I did it in like one day. I did it pretty quick. Yes, sir.